Welcome back. This week we're going to talk about finding deals. Last week we talked about how to identify your target market. Now it's time to put it into action and really go out there and find a deal that makes sense. So how do we go about finding deals? We've identified our target market, so now it's time to dig into it and really go out there and see what's available. So some of the usual sources are the internet. We can Google and find various commercial deals there. We can connect with commercial brokers, which is probably the best way. We can do direct seller marketing. We can do networking. By that I mean network with sellers or other multifamily owners. We can work with banks for the REOs, or we can go to auction sites. So let's dig into each of these individual options. All right, the internet. We've all heard about that. So it's a great place to start your search. But you just have to realize that a lot of these properties that are listed on the internet, some of the big sites, LoopNet and so forth, have already been rejected by other investors. By that I mean, typically the broker will bring a deal to a potential buyer before it gets listed on the internet and say, hey, are you interested in this deal? And if their buyer list is not interested, then they may go ahead and list it on their website. Some brokers always list it up front, so don't disregard what you find there, but also be aware that sometimes you really have to analyze these deals very carefully to make sure they make sense. I listed a few sites here: LoopNet, svn.com, crexi.com, showcase.com, cathylist.com. And one I didn't list here is Craigslist. Smaller properties are often listed on Craigslist, so that's another source. All right, so brokers. Brokers are going to be your best options in a competitive market. They know what's going on in the market, and if you create a good relationship with a broker, they can make you rich and provide you with pocket listings. Pocket listings are listings that hasn't really been put out there to the general public yet, and they may be able to give you a first look at it before a lot of people have the opportunity. And how do you find a broker? Well, you can go to some of these sites I mentioned in the previous slides and just see who are the most prolific brokers out there, who has most properties for sale, the type you're looking for, and then contact them. Also make sure you look for a broker that is specialized in the size of property you're looking for. Don't call a person who has a 200-unit property for sale and ask for a fourplex. That probably wouldn't work so well. It's also okay to have multiple broker relationships in the market. Again, different brokers specialize in different areas, different property sizes. So keep networking, keep finding brokers that can meet your needs. Direct marketing is another effective strategy, but it takes time. You can go and buy lists of property owners, and then you can send direct mail to them. Buying the lists are not always the greatest for multifamily because it's hard to figure out who the actual owner is behind an LLC and stuff like that. So sometimes it's worth spending the time and create your own list through assessors data, figure out who the owner is, the LLC, break down the LLC, find out who are the members of the LLC, and so forth. It's time consuming, but it's worthwhile. Also, you got to be very consistent. Send out letters on a regular basis every 3 to 4 months over a long period of time can lead results. Don't just send one mailing out and expect to get great results out of that. Networking is another awesome way to find deals. And by networking, it's basically go to local meetups, RIAs, and other places, and find people, find owners, find other investors, because maybe somebody has a deal that they're not able or willing to take down at the current time, but you may be an option to, say, take over a potential contract that they have. And focus on the relationship first. I like this little meme here: know me, like me, trust me, buy me, and refer me. Essentially, spend time on creating these relationships. They're going to be lifelong relationships. You're not going to maybe get something out of them immediately, but after many interactions and multiple meetings, that trust gets developed, and then over time they will actually refer you, and you can really use those connections to buy properties and sell and whatever you're trying to do. Banks. Banks may foreclose on properties, and they will have them on their books. That's what they call real estate owned. And banks are not in the business of operating properties. So they want to get rid of them. These days, there's not a lot of REOs for multifamily because the market are doing pretty well. But in 2011, 2012, there's a lot of multifamily that the banks were owning. So it's another good option. So if you have a commercial loan broker that you're working with on a property, maybe ask them and say, hey, do you guys have an REO department, and see if you can connect with them and identify any properties that they may have on their books. Auctions, there are various auction sites out there where multifamilies are sold. It's an advanced strategy and you need to be very careful because they usually start at a very low offer price and to lure you in. So typically you gotta have all the money for the deal. You gotta be willing to pay immediately and so forth. So maybe interesting to watch, but be careful and study it carefully before you start doing auctions. Again, if you are looking to connect with me to get more information about what I'm doing, learn more about real estate, please go ahead and set up a call with me at opendoorscapital.com/call. Until next time, where we're going to talk about underwriting deals. We found a great deal. How do we really analyze this deal in great detail? See you soon.